Welcome to Google Sheet tutorial. Today, I'll teach you how I have created my income and expense tracker in Google Sheet. So with the help of this income and expense tracker, you will be able to track all your different incomes and all your expenses. You'll be easily able to track it. Also, it comes with a transaction sheet where you can try to enter all your transactions. It also comes with a dashboard, so where you can completely see the table and the required graphs. You'll be able to see it. So first, I'll show you how the income and expense tracker is going to look like. So here is how my income and expense tracker is going to look like. So first you can see I have all the different categories of my income which is listed, and here I have all my expenses, different categories like shopping, fuel, gym. All these are some different subcategories for my expenses. I'll list it down over here. So next in the transaction sheet, you can see all the transactions are listed, the date, the value, so what category, whether it's going to be income or expense, and then the subcategory is completely listed in the transaction sheet. So then I have the overview sheet. So where in the overview sheet I have like the start date and end date and the overview of my complete income and expense. So here below you can see the tables. So the income table and expense table. So what is going to be the total sum of income over here. So I'll be able to see it. So for salary, how much it is. So easily I'll be able to see with the help of these important tables. And also at the top I have the required graphs. So I'll teach you from scratch how you can create an income and expense tracker like this in Google Sheet. Let's get started. I have opened a new Google Sheet, and first I'll go and name the sheet as input data. So that's going to be our first sheet. So in the first sheet, I'll just completely select this and then I'll say merge center. So here I'll have the title as input data. So let me try to go and increase the size of this. I'll make this bold and also I'll make it central now. So I'll fill this with the color. So here I can like try to list down all my different incomes and my expenses. So here I'll have the first title as income and I'll increase size, make this bold. Then I'll do the formatting. So below this income, I can just try to list down all my different types of income. So let's say main job, and then next is going to be freelance. Then we can have some rental income. Then I can have some capital gains and some passive income. I can just have it. So these are the complete all the incomes I have just tried to list out down over here. So here I'll have my expenses. So I'll say expenses and then I'll just try to do the formatting. So below this expenses, I can try to like enter all my different expenses. So let's say shopping, then my Wi-Fi bill, then we can have our electricity bill, then gas bill, then for food, then rent, so for clothing, then like gym subscription and movie outing. So all these can be some of my different expenses. So I have listed down all my expenses and income in the input sheet. So next is I'll try to go and create another sheet. So here I'll name this as transactions. So I'll completely select this here. Then here let me have the title as transactions. So I'll just to fill this color. So here in the transaction sheet, I'll try to have a table. So first I'll have my date. So date of that particular transaction. Then it's going to be the value of that particular transaction. Then I'll have what is going to be the category and the subcategory. And then if I have any other details, I can just try to list down in the transaction. So I'll just try to increase the width of these columns. So I can just completely select this and then I'll do the formatting. So below this one, I'll just try to enter some transaction details in this particular table. So let's say the first I'll try to have like 5th Jan 2025. So the value, let's keep it at $3,200. And the category, let's say it's going to be income and let's say main job. So this is going to be subcategory. And then let's say 10th Jan 2025, 2,400. Let's say it's going to be income and let's say freelance. So next, let's say 15th Jan 2025. So $500. It's going to be expense. And then let's say it's going to be for rent. And then 20th Jan 2025, like $400 expense. let's say it's going to be for food. Then 22nd Jan 2025, let's say $200. Let's consider this as income, as capital gains. So these can be some of my transactions I have listed down over here. So if you want to add more transactions, you can just try to go and add all the transactions, whatever you have in this particular table, you will be able to add it. And also if any other details you just want to like have a comment about this particular transaction, you can try to add that over here as well. Next is I'll try to go and create a overview sheet. So that's going to be a dashboard. So I'll name this sheet as overview, and I'll just try to completely select this. I'll say merge center and say overview. I'll try to increase the size. Then I'll try to do the formatting. So here let me try to have my start date and end date over here. So I'll completely select this. I'll say merge center. So below this one, I'll just try to select this completely. So here at the top, I'll have date. So below this one, I'll have my start date, and then next is going to be our end date. I'll just try to have it. So now I'll completely select this, and then let me try to draw the borders. So here is my border. So I'll also do the formatting and make this center align and also make this bold. So here I'll just try to fill this with the color. These two, I can just try to fill this with the color. Here, let's say the start date is going to be 1st Jan 2025 to 31st December 2025. So this is going to be start and end date over. So next, below this one, I'm just trying to go and have my complete income details, complete sheet. I'll just try to have it. So I'll just try to completely select this here. Then let me say merge center. So here I'll say income. And then below this one, I'll just completely select this over here. And then I'll say merge horizontally. So this cells also I'll just try to select. And here also I'll say merge horizontally. So I'll completely select this. And then let me try to draw the borders for this one. And also I can just try to center align this. So here there's going to be a title. So I'll make this bold and then I'll fill this with the color. So here what we're going to do is whatever income subcategories I try to have in the input data, whatever I try to have. So I'll just try to bring all these over here. So here I'll say is equal to if, and then I'll open the brackets. I'll go to the input data. So if this cell is going to be empty, so that's going to be the condition. If this is true, I'll have no value. Or else what I'll do is if it is going to be false, I'll have this same value over here. And then I'll close the brackets. So I'll press enter. So here you can see I'm getting the value. So I'll just try to completely flash fill this. So wherever I'm having the value, you can just see I'm getting the values over here. So this is the complete income table over here. So next is here what I need to do is I need to have what is going to be the sum of all the main job values. So for example, in the transaction, we have main job, right? So I want to find the sum of those values. So here to do that one, I'm going to use the sum function. So I'll say is equal to sum. And then first what I need to do is I need to go and select the criteria range. So let's say this is going to be the criteria range over here. So I'll completely select this. I'll give comma and then it should be equal to, so that is this subcategory should be equal to whatever I have in the main job, right? So I'll just say it should be equal to this one, comma, and the sum range. So where it should like sum up the values. So here this is going to be the sum range. So I'll completely select the sum range. And then I'll close the brackets and I'll press enter. So here you can see I'm getting the value as 3,200 because in the main job we have like only one main job, so that's 3,200. So I'm getting the value. So in case if we have multiple main jobs in the transactions, so all this will add up and then that value will just get it over here. So here we can just try to go and format this completely to US dollars. And here also I'll just try to completely format this. So US dollars I can just format. So before that one, so I'll just try to do the absolute referencing for the formula. Since the range is going to remain the same, that is the sum range and the criteria range is going to remain the same. So I'll just add the dollar symbol before the cells, that is the row number and the column number. I'll just try to add it and then I'll press enter. So here now I can just try to flash fill this completely. See here I'm able to get 0, 0 over here. So if capital gains is $200, 2,400 for freelance. So I'll be easily able to get this value. So the below I'll say total and then here let me try to find the sum of all the incomes. So I'll completely select this range and then I'll give enter. So here is my total value. So I'll completely select this, and then I'll just try to highlight this. So these are complete income table. So next is let's try to have the expense table. So I'll come here and then let me try to completely select the cells over here, and then I'll say merge center. So here I'll have my expense, and then below these two columns I'll select till here, and then I'll say merge horizontally. Similarly here also I'll just try to select this, and then I'll say merge horizontally. So I can just completely select this, and then I can draw the borders, and also I'll make it center line. So the title, I'll try to increase size, make this bold, and I'll fill this with the color. So here for the expense, so similarly, I need to like get all the expense details, whatever I have in my input data, I just need to get it over here. So to do that, I'll say is equal to if, I'll open the brackets, I'll go to the input data. So here, if this cell is going to be empty, I'll have no value, or else I'll have the same value. So I'll select the cell and then I'll give enter. So here I'm getting the expense. So I'll just try to completely flash fill this. So here you can see I'm getting all the expenses, whatever categories I have for my expense, I'm able to get it over here. So now here I need to find the sum. So I'll use the sumif function. So I'll say is equal to sumif. I'll open the brackets, and then first I'll go to transactions. I'll completely select the subcategory over here and then give comma. So the criteria is going to be, it should be equal to the particular cell. That is whatever cell we have over here, right? So it should be equal to shopping. That is going to be the condition, comma, and then the sum range is going to be the value over here. So I'll completely select this, close the brackets, and I'll press enter. So here you can see I'm getting the value as 0. So I'll just try to go and do the absolute referencing. So I'll try to add the dollar symbol before the column and row number. So that is for 2 ranges alone. I'll just try to add it. So that's the sum range and the criteria range. So now I have added. So now when I just try to flash fill this formula completely till here, so you can see wherever I have, I'm just able to get the value. So I'll just try to format this in US dollars. So here you can see for food, $400, and for rent, $500, we are able to get it. So at the bottom, I'll have the total. So I'll say is equal to sum of, then I'll just try to have the sum of all these values. So this is the total one. So I'll highlight this. So this is my income and expense table, important tables we have over here. So next is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to completely select this, and then I'll say merge center. So here I'll just try to add some few rows at the top. So below this one, I'll just try to merge and center this. And then here also I'll just try to merge and center. So here we'll have our what is going to be the total expense and our income value. So I'll say overview is going to be the title. And then below this one, I'll have the total income and my total expense. So I'll completely select this. I'll increase the size, make this bold, and I'll also make this center line. So here I'll have the all borders. So for this one, I can just try to fill this with the color. And for this, I'll have a different color. So here I need to have the total income. So the total income is nothing but it's equal to, so this particular cell, right? So here we have found out the total. So I'll have the total income value over here, and then the expense I'll say is equal to, and then here is the total expense. So I'll have the total expense value over that. So this is the complete overview we have got. Now I can just try to go and create some graphs. So I'll completely select this, and then I'll go to insert, and then let me try to create a chart over here. So here I'm having the column chart. So if you want to have a pie chart, you can just try to have it. Or else if you want to have a column chart, you can just try to have a column chart. Okay, so it depends upon whatever chart you want. So I'll just try to have a column chart over here. So this is going to be the column chart for the complete income I have. So I'll try to go and have the title for the chart as income details or income summary we can have. So income summary. So and I can just try to go and change the colors of this to our theme colors. So here is my income details. So you can see for which one we are having the more income, from where our income sources are more, we'll be able to see with the help of this particular graph easily. Next is I'll try to create a graph for the expense. So here is going to be my expense. So I'll completely select this, and then I'll try to go and insert a chart over here. So this is the chart. So I can just say switch rows and columns, and so here you can see I've created a pie chart over here for this expenses. So where our more expenses are going. Like for example, here you will be able to see it. So more is going for like rent is 55% and for food 44%. So for this one also, I can just have the chart title. So I'll go to customize and then I'll have the chart title. So expenses summary. I can have it, and I can also go and change the color of this to a different color. So here is my expense summary. So here is how we can actually create a simple income and expense tracker on Google Sheets. So first we have created the input data where we had like listed down all our categories and subcategories, and then our transactions. So we have listed down all our transactions on the transaction sheet. And then on the overview, we have completely calculated the sum of the incomes and the expenses. And after that, we have created a dashboard for this. So if you wish to use this particular income and expense tracker template, I have given the link in the description. You can just try to go and download the income and expense tracker from there. Also, I have created multiple templates for small businesses like the sales CRM, like bookkeeping, business planner, and many other templates. So if you wish to use these templates, you can visit my website plrduck.com and then you can try to download it from there. So the great thing about these templates is that all these templates comes for both Google Sheet and Excel. It also comes with master resale rights and commercial rights, where you can try to edit these templates as per your wish and then share it with as many people you like. I hope you would have liked this video. Please do like and subscribe my channel for more such content. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another Excel or Google Sheet tutorial.